I gotta tell you, I was hesitant on Crimson Desert's launch. It had way too much going on in the trailers. It just looked like a perfect game. From everything that we had seen, it seemed like it was going to be a very cool game. They said it was optimized, they said it would run well, and from what I've seen, it does. But it took me a whole day after the game came out until I was finally like, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger and buy it. And I've got to say, it's been a long time since I've been sucked into a game like this.
Nice.
It has that feel that Breath of the Wild has, exploration-wise, and even kind of in the combat, just like in the creativity that you have and the tools that they give you. I'm getting too passionate. I gotta walk it back a little. By the time that I'm done making this video, I should have about 45 hours in Crimson Desert. I gotta grab a little bit more gameplay for this, but right now I'm sitting around 40 hours of Crimson Desert, and I'm not even halfway through the game. I think I'm on chapter 4. I haven't really done a whole lot besides explore. So, do I have an authority to make a review on this game? No, I don't. So I'm making an impressions video, and I just kind of want to open up a discussion in the comments about how you guys are feeling about the game. And that's because I went into this game with the wrong approach. I was going as fast as I could to get through the tutorials because I think the beginning of the game is pretty lacking. I think it could use a little bit of a rework just to keep it engaging. Like, it's so slow, I almost refunded the game, and then I saw that I was past my refund time, and so I went back into it. I slowed my roll a little bit, and I think about 5 hours in is when I got the snowball effect, and I started to really see what people were seeing in the game. Because I was thinking that maybe the community was just going delirious, but definitely by like hour 10, I was starting to see what everybody was talking about. The game has a beautiful presentation, and the art style and the graphics, they just work, you know? It doesn't go for anything insane art style wise. I'm happy they didn't go for like super hyper realistic. I don't even think they could do that. But what they did, it looks good and it runs good too. Like, the fast travel in this game is impressive. The fact that you can fast travel within 5 seconds, like across the map. It's a very, very seamless experience. The exploration is great. This world has a soul. Like, you can tell a game that was made based off of like investment calls and whatnot. These developers, they said, fuck it, let's just make a cool game. Let's throw shit behind waterfalls. Let's put a little hatch in a mountain, and then if you open it, there's some loot inside. They really make it worth going off the path. And I think that's why I was having such a hard time at the beginning, is because I was going on the straight and narrow path and I wasn't exploring outside of that. But if you just like walk through the woods, it's gorgeous. The game, like, you can get on to get a mission done, and then you look at the time and you've just been walking around for 5 hours. And you'll find like almost any location could be a screenshot. Like, you could make a YouTube thumbnail off of almost every spot that you walk in this game. And I feel like when you're just walking around, the like music and the sound of the nature just really opens up, and like the ambience in this game is crazy. The side content that I've played so far is pretty entertaining. They have bounties in the game, which are pretty cool. You'll find like a poster hanging up in town. You'll grab the poster, you'll track down the guy, you'll tackle him, and then the game makes you punch him in the face a couple of times so you can tie him up and throw him on your horse. You then bring the guy back to the guards, and then you get reputation, which eventually allows you to I think get like better armor from shops and stuff. It's a pretty neat system. I found the combat to be probably like top 5 of all time for me. Like, I really enjoy the combat in this game. I really wasn't sure even kind of what it was going to feel like. Like, the trailers just didn't really make it clear to me, but it kind of feels like a mix of Assassin's Creed and Dynasty Warriors. Like, it's fast paced, and the enemies are easy to mow down when they're the smaller type, but the boss battles are a little harder, and I kind of like the dynamics with the boss battles. Like, you can be a really skilled player and get by, or you can be like me and have 100 pieces of meat cooked and waiting for you to just consume for the entire battle. But it's really cool because I like games that give you that aspect of preparation that'll make your life easier. And that's what I spend a lot of time doing, is just preparing for boss battles and harder enemies. But yeah, in terms of weapons, you've got like spears, maces, short swords, long swords. Like, they give you access to a lot of different stuff, and it's all got a cool aesthetic to it. Like, you can get a spear of souls. Everything in this game, from like the weapons to the armor, has like a really kind of masculine kind of feel to it. You know, the feeling of like shouting at a dragon. That's kind of the feeling you get in this game. And it's kind of a feeling that we've forgotten about. And I think it's going to help this game age very well, is the overall aesthetic of it. Like, a lot of games nowadays, they feel soulless. The armor looks soft, or the characters feel weak. This is a game that has characters that feel strong. This game gives you the option to become an MMA beast. And there is nothing cooler than stabbing a guy with a spear a couple of times and then drop kicking him right after. This game has me sold on MMA mechanics in video games. I think every action video game should have MMA mechanics. Let's talk about the puzzles a little bit. Now, the puzzles are, it's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes it's like, you know, it feels rewarding and you're like, oh, it took me a minute, but this is a cool puzzle. And you get it done. Other times, I feel like I've looked up tutorials for puzzles where it's like, I just did a little part of it wrong. Like, maybe I wasn't holding on to something for long enough, but there really wasn't a cue to tell me when to let go, if that makes sense. It's really hard. I was trying to find a good piece of gameplay of me doing a puzzle like this, and I just don't have anything. But I hear that's a pretty common complaint with the game, is lack of hand holding, which a lot of people do like that. But just for me, I found myself looking up tutorials, and that's actually one of the strong things about this community, is it's full of people that are exploring and figuring stuff out together. I'm not going to sit here and spend too much time complaining about the controls. Like, they're a little weird, but they're really not the end of the world, or at least they weren't for me. Like, the jump button is the same button as the grab button, and that's a little weird sometimes, but overall, the game is still fun. Like, if the controls were so bad that the game wasn't fun, obviously that would be a problem, but it's like something you get used to. I come from games like Dying Light where the jump button is right bumper, so I'm plenty used to it. Crimson Desert is not an RPG. The developers of the game said that. This is a open world sandbox action game, and it does that extremely well. It's got a linear story, but as an open world action sandbox game, this is one of the best out there. And I mean it. Like, the mechanics they give you, they don't act individually, if that makes sense. Like, let me explain by saying they all work together. Everything works as expected. There's an ability where you can use the sun's reflection off your sword to light things on fire. So if you drop raw meat on the ground, you can use the sun's reflection to cook the raw meat. It's like when you were a kid and you're daydreaming and you're like, what if there was like these mercenaries and they lived in a medieval time, but there was also like trains and you had like advanced superpowers and there was guns too. And it's just like they throw the whole kitchen sink at the game and it all feels amazing. Like it just works so well. These are one of those games that I would categorize as an investment game. And what I mean by that is it's a game that you buy and it just gets better. Like I would categorize other investment games as like Cyberpunk or Dying Light 2. And that's not to say that this game's nearly as bad as Cyberpunk was, but it's just the fact that the developers are working so quick to fix any of the problems that the game had at launch. Like the game didn't launch with a personal storage, which was really weird. But I think it was like day one they added it, and they've just been doing a bunch of like small tweaks, and they've made the bosses a little bit easier because there's some really hard bosses, I guess. They've also fixed the stamina when gliding. Like you used to only be able to glide for 3 seconds, and then you would run out of stamina. And so they've been patching things like every week or every 4 days. It's something crazy like that. They're clearly a studio that cares, and they want to make every dollar that you spend worth it. So wrapping things up, I would just like to say thank you, Pearl Abyss, because not only have you made an amazing core game that you are continuing to improve, you're also setting a good example towards other developers, like showing them what it looks like when you put love and passion into a game. And I know there's a lot of studios out there where there's developers working really hard, but it's just the direction that they're being given is lackluster. But Pearl Abyss, they really did something special with this game. If you disagree or you have any comments about it, let me know down below. I'll be replying. Thank you for watching.